Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Montreal, Quebec. My name's Tim Baggers, joined by Mitch Braley for this matchup. Michael Leduc against Coby Iwasa. Leduc, most people outside of Canada won't have heard of him. He's played a few pro tours here and there. Coby Iwasa, I think people know from his WRT events. He was electric in the Pan Am Games in 2015. But hasn't really been playing that much, courtesy of job, school, all that fun stuff. Can Leduc beat Coby Iwasa?
It's a tall task. Like you said, he's been playing some pro stops, and those have all been fairly recently, I think the last 4 or 5 months. So I think he's definitely playing more than he has been. I'm not sure what that translates into in terms of training, but he's definitely playing a lot more, getting a lot more experience, and that's so big at this level, is just seeing a high level of play regularly. And then, like you said, Iwasa doesn't get the court time thanks to school, unfortunate living situation, far away from courts. So, I think if Leduc can come out hot here, and Iwasa's not necessarily as sharp as he would be if he was playing full time and on a regular basis, anything can happen, right, in that 40-by-20.
Well, we saw Leduc defeat Francis Guillemette yesterday in a 5-gamer, and that was fun. For Leduc, this is kind of home court. He lives here in Quebec, and it gives him an opportunity to play in front of friends and family. And like you said, Iwasa, it's like, he went to New York, had a good tournament, and then he came here and was talking about how different the courts were, and it was affecting his game. We saw Tanner Prentice take him to 5 games earlier this week. Not as fresh and as efficient as we maybe saw him a few years ago.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one thing about him, though, just like we saw with Connell the last match, he is a big match player, so he does tend to have the ability to take it to another gear when he needs to in later matches. And one thing too is he's played for a few days on these courts, and he's getting used to it and starting to dial things in. So I think that does work in his favor as well.
Well, here is the action. Of course, they conveniently both wear black, as does the official. I mean, really, people. I like Lee Connell because we know nobody's going to match him, right?
He did us a favor.
Fire shorts. So here we go. It's Coby Iwasa representing Ontario against Michael Leduc from here in Quebec. Now's your chance to make your predictions and, of course, share the stream as we try to get racquetball around social media. Thanks for everybody watching in. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. We have more matches coming up today, of course, but we're here watching what could be an interesting matchup. Iwasa, no doubt the favorite as the 3 seed.
0-0-0.
And it starts with a bullet serve from Iwasa, unreturned by Leduc.
And that's anyone that knows him knows that's his game. He's a big server, big drive serve, and that's what he needs to generate momentum and really just take control of matches.
Well, a little bit of luck on that one. Just jumping up and hitting that and cracked it on the left side. Iwasa will be in a hurry to get through this.
Must be hungry.
But Leduc says, hold on. Backhand pinch rollout, side out. Leduc, I talked to him about this service motion. He and Guillemette, I think, spent more time preparing to serve than the rally at times. It was a lengthy match. And he said, I've got to go through my routine. He's absolutely right.
Yeah, and I think even at this level, there's a lot of players that don't take that time. So credit to him for being aware of that and playing smart.
Oh, that's an avoidable hinder. Leduc got that one all wrong.
Bit of a sloppy start, just trying to settle in.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if Iwasa has a coach here.
I believe it's Michel Gagnon.
Okay. Which is an interesting choice, given that Michel Gagnon is here in Quebec and Leduc being coached by, it looks like, by Tommy Murray.
Oh, I think I know Iwasa and Gagnon have worked together for, I think, probably the last 4 or 5 years. So I don't know how that dynamic works in terms of communication, but seems to work fairly well for them. And I'm sure they've kind of figured out what the best way to work that dynamic is.
It used to be Corey Osborne until Corey stepped away from coaching.
Another great serve to the right, catches the crack.
If you're just joining us, we saw Lee Connell overcome Curtis Cullen. Skip ball Iwasa. And I know you talked to Connell afterwards, and what I heard from Connell was, I think I just played the best match of my life. And he really did put on a show.
Yeah, and not to take credit away from how well he plays at other times. He's a great player, but boy, I've seen him play a lot of ball, and that's the highest level I've ever seen him play at, especially for an entire match. It was nice to see from him. He's a great guy, and that's a big win for him. Some frustration early from Leduc.
Yeah, Iwasa started out bright and is very, very athletic. Hits the ball hard. It's giving Leduc a good workout so far. 7-2. It's a good shot from Leduc. Leduc hits a really clean ball when his feet are set. The challenge for him, though, is Iwasa's going to push him around the court and force those unforced errors.
No, I've been watching him all week, and he's been shooting really well. Again, we talked about Colin playing one of the best matches of his life, but Leduc's been playing some great ball, and it's as well as I've seen him play this past few days here.
Iwasa won the Junior World Championships in 2012. That's quite an achievement. Got stuck on that left wall, didn't know what to do, and Leduc had an easy opportunity to make it 4-7. That's a clean shot. Yeah, controlled ball down the left side, 5-7. Leduc starting to find a little bit of rhythm.
Yeah, he's been putting those balls down well all week too. Those front court shots where he's staying low, and he's just rekilling them. There's nothing left.
Leduc won the national junior doubles title with Nicolas Bousquet, not here, competing this year. And another point, and another three-shot rally. Loose returns from Coby Iwasa that are getting punished.
6 or 7.
And Leduc's almost had it up here. I think Iwasa was up 7-1, 7-2, so it's a nice string of points for Leduc.
That was a pretty obvious screen.
Good call from the official, yeah.
Leduc did well to get out of the way of that one. And again, Coby Iwasa not hitting good returns and really setting up Leduc to keep the points short.
And I think that is a factor, like we talked about at the beginning, is he's not getting the court time he wants. So when you get those setups, you're just a little bit unsure of yourself and don't have the confidence just to put it away like you normally would.
Leduc enjoys golf and video games, he said. And again, I mean, if we count the number of three-shot rallies, we're seeing classic racquetball from Leduc. Decent serve, sloppy return, punished.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, when you're the underdog especially, that's really what it comes down to is can you play good fundamental racquetball? You don't have to do anything special or crazy. It's just, serve well and take advantage of the opportunities that your opponent gives you.
Absolutely. Leduc was just checking whether to appeal that or was just asking for confirmation. Looks like he's broken the strings on his racket, so he'll get an equipment timeout. Back in he comes. Both of these players, gearbox players.
Technical. Don't have your tether
Oh.
on.
Let's see that. Wow. Technical for Michael Leduc. Why? Because he wasn't wearing his tether when he was hitting the ball. That is the correct call.
Yeah, that, and Cullen actually made mention of that in another player warming up earlier this week. So, as silly as it seems, I mean, you do have to stick to the rule book and call it correctly.
Rules are rules.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Coby Iwasa with another skip.
Then Leduc earns that point back.
Well done for Leduc for maintaining his composure, and Tommy Murray actually telling him to stay calm because Leduc can get fired up. Well, you've seen it. I've seen it. He can sometimes blow up, which affects his play.
And when he stays calm, he's a tremendous player, which he's been demonstrating here for this first game.
Excellent defense from Leduc. But Iwasa just about managed to get that ball past Leduc for the point. Those are the rallies that Leduc wants to avoid.
That's it.
Right? You don't want to get into a fitness battle with Coby Iwasa.
No, not at all. He wants to keep those short with good serve and then re-killing, hitting the winner on that third shot.
Second serve.
Coby Iwasa, easy put away, skips it. Is not looking sharp so far in this first game. 9 serving 8, Leduc serving.
Looks just a little bit tight too. I think, some nerves that are at play. I mean, you said big match, it's a quarterfinal, and when you're coming in knowing you don't have the practice time per se, it's tough to just relax and stay calm.
And supposed to win. And supposed to win easy based on seeding.
Yeah. So, all the pressure is really on one guy, and
right.
It's tough when you're playing someone that has no pressure on them. They can swing loose and hit some shots they wouldn't normally make in an earlier round.
Second serve.
Wow.
Great shot.
Excellent shot. Ball just came off the back wall to give enough room for Michael Leduc to shoot it, and he did perfectly. And you heard the animation from him.
Yeah, he's staying positive. He's fired up. He's got the right balance of intensity and execution on the shots. So this might be an interesting finish to the first game.
Well, it was a Z serve. His coach called it, but got punished for it because it wasn't deep enough. 10 serving 10. Iwasa, even though he has not played well in this first game, is still even.
Yeah, no, he hasn't really seemed to be in control here, but it's just, staying shot for shot and making enough to stay in this.
And then Michael Leduc does what he cannot do, which is give away a point with a skip. All of a sudden, Iwasa ready to get on with this.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to take his time serving.
Now he does like that high play. He doesn't like a lot of time between points. He just wants to keep the pace up. And
I'll give you your play.
Court hinder off the back. It caught the edge of the door and the wall. 11-10 replay. Iwasa's just like a cat covering the court. Agile, looks smooth, balanced. It's very hard to get a ball past him.
No, and Leduc had the chances there, and he didn't hit a bad shot in that rally per se. It was just Iwasa athleticism that won him that point.
Oh my word, how many sidewalls.
Good flick to reset it.
And then Iwasa skips it big up in the service box. Not the rally either of those two will want to watch again. We're going to see a timeout by Leduc. I like the timeout.
Yep.
It's 11 serving 12. We're doing the same. We'll be back here in game 1.
Si vous visionnez ceci, nous supposons que vous êtes déjà familier avec le concept d'une pratique sportive sécuritaire. Et c'est super! Nous voulons tous offrir un environnement sportif sécuritaire, sain et respectueux à nos participants et à nos acteurs du...
Inscrivez-vous à l'atelier d'entraîneur du programme Badge de Racquetball Canada afin de pouvoir lancer votre programme. Dans notre atelier de 3 heures, vous apprendrez la théorie, le contenu et la façon de mettre en œuvre un programme amusant et excitant. Nous offrons cet atelier de formation à des entraîneurs de façon virtuelle afin de le rendre accessible et abordable. Une fois qu'un entraîneur aura suivi avec succès l'atelier sur le programme Badge, il aura accès à toutes les ressources en ligne et au matériel du programme, y compris les vidéos, les bulletins et le matériel de marketing afin de pouvoir commencer immédiatement.
And welcome back, everybody. Tim Backers, Mitch Braley. Thanks to everybody who's shared this feed on. A big thank you to Chris Pierce, who said he shared it. It helps spread racquetball around, increase viewers, which increase sponsorships because there's more eyes on the commercials. We saw a badge program. We'll talk about it when we get to another break. Let's get back to the action. Got to put those balls down. That was high.
And I think this first game is a little bit more important for Leduc than it is for Iwasa. I think, if Iwasa takes this, it's going to be tough mentally for Leduc to dig himself out of that hole, even though it is possible to come back from a game down. But you don't want to give Iwasa the confidence and get him rolling.
Another unforced error from Iwasa. This is a good example, perhaps, of players who are very talented but don't necessarily have the opportunity to put time in on the court. That's a beautiful shot from Leduc. I mean, it's got to be hard. You said Iwasa doesn't live near courts, doesn't get time on courts, and then has to come to a national championship and play in big moments. It's not easy.
No, and it's frustrating. I know he's playing against the walls of schools, last summer, and I mean, there's only so much you can do when you're not on an actual racquetball court.
But muscle memory takes charge, and Iwasa with the splat winner. That was perfect.
That's a great shot. At a big time.
Can he close it out? Uh-oh. Wow. Are you kidding? Iwasa, big skip forehand.
I thought Leduc almost let him off the hook there a bit with that loose shot, but it ends up being Iwasa that gives the gift to him here.
So game point for Leduc. What a big point this is. Wow. That's a great shot. Leduc, are you kidding? How did he do this?
Fucking goal.
On his knees, puts it down.
Can't say that word. That's a warning.
And
I'll give you one.
Leduc gets a warning for saying some colorful comments as he came out.
Did that filter out of the microphone?
So we'll take a break. We'll be back. Leduc wins the first.
Si vous visionnez ceci, nous supposons que vous êtes déjà familier avec le concept d'une pratique sportive sécuritaire. Et c'est super! Nous voulons tous offrir un environnement sportif sécuritaire, sain et respectueux à nos participants et à nos acteurs du milieu. Sport sécuritaire est ancré dans l'ADN de Respect Group. Le mouvement a commencé en 1997 lorsque notre cofondateur, Sheldon Kennedy, a dénoncé les abus dont il a été victime. Soutenu par le leadership audacieux de Hockey Canada, le premier programme, Sport sécuritaire, a été créé. Sous forme d'enseignement en classe et obligatoire pour chaque entraîneur de hockey canadien, il a été la base du mouvement Sport sécuritaire. Respect Group porte ce flambeau depuis. Grâce à nos formations en ligne, nous sommes fiers de dire que plus d'1 million de Canadiens sont certifiés Respect dans les organisations sportives et dans les organisations qui servent la jeunesse au niveau récréatif jusqu'au niveau national. Comment y sommes-nous arrivés? Il a fallu une réflexion de principe, un peu d'essais et d'erreurs et des leaders comme vous qui ont fait du sport sécuritaire et accueillant une priorité. Pour nous, il ne s'agit pas seulement d'une formalité et d'une tâche de plus à cocher sur une liste, mais d'une approche globale du changement de culture, fournissant à tous les acteurs du milieu de multiples outils pour créer un environnement sportif positif et les incitant à vouloir revenir chaque jour. C'est notre objectif.
Welcome back, everybody. Game 2. What a game 1 that was, Mitch Braley. 15-14 Leduc with an absolutely sublime point to finish it. Can he maintain it?
And certainly didn't expect that result. You know, you got a lower seed who really hasn't, I don't think, been to too many quarterfinals at this level on this stage. But to his credit, I mean, he stepped up to the moment. He played great. He made the shots he needed to. Iwasa, you know, gave him a few freebies, but curious to see how he'll adjust and if Leduc can maintain this.
Yeah, and I think that's what Iwasa needs to do is just keep the ball in play, no unforced errors, play the lines, force Leduc around, and he'll get plenty of opportunities.
Yeah.
The Leduc plays best when his feet are set, as do most people, right? We rep that, we practice that, but when we're running, that's a different issue, and I think Iwasa has to get Leduc running.
And he's so good at that, is moving his opponents with, you know, he's got great pace, but you know, usually a lot of angles, and even a shot like that there is just
that's
tough. Simple, clean.
It's not simple.
One ball, simple.
Yeah, tough to execute that.
Yes, absolutely, tough shot.
We're seeing Iwasa sticking with this Z serve, and that looked, well, good shot was Iwasa's.
Yeah, I think it did. It just kind of went in a little bit funny in the corner, but it's flat. It's a good pass.
But wrong decision. Should have gone down the line, went cross court. It hit the sidewall into the middle. Iwasa all of a sudden has come alive.
Yeah, that's not uncommon in a lot of matches where he gives up a first game. He does usually come out firing, but oh, it's another tough shot.
He's all of a sudden he's like, all right, enough of this nonsense.
Yeah, stepping up to another gear here.
And
so
sticking with the same serve too.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I say that. It happens all the time. Another 3-shot rally.
Yeah.
6-0.
Leduc with no answer after that first game. 7. Well, here's an example, Mitch, where we talk about rally scoring and we say you can't go on runs in rally scoring. And yet we just saw 15-14 game 1, and Iwasa's up 7-0, 7 in a row. It does happen. It doesn't happen often, but neither does comebacks in regular scoring as well. So it's just a different way of seeing it, and maybe mentally the perception of I've got to win these next 7 rallies.
Yeah, well, I think the positive you can take away if you're Leduc is, hey, I'm in a hole, I'm down 7-0, but at the same time, Iwasa ran 7 points. Maybe I can run, you know, even 5 or 6, and just to get right back into this game. So you get a side out, you're already, you know, one step of the way there. So as long as I think he keeps his composure, is going to be big. If we see him get frustrated and get down, I think we're going to see a lot more unforced errors creep into his game, and that's just going to work in Iwasa's favor as the match goes on.
Well, he's tight. I mean, Iwasa's just taking the steam, the momentum out of Leduc in this second game, right? If Leduc keeps it competitive in game 2, then maybe the pressure's on Iwasa. But right now, Iwasa's like, I've got this.
Yeah. You can see he's building a bit of confidence, and there's another
8.
good serve. Yeah, but Leduc wants those longer rallies where he can get emotional and get into this match. Smart.
And straight down the line goes Iwasa. I don't think Leduc wants the long rallies. I think he just wants a good return of serve. He's having trouble with this C serve.
Yeah, no, Iwasa's found something that's worked, and we talked about it in the last Cullen-Connell match. You just find a serve that works and stick with it till you're forced to switch.
10 points in a row for Coby Iwasa.
10-0.
All of a sudden, he's all business.
He looks a little bit looser, a little more settled in.
11 points in a row. Kicks out. Leduc looks back at the back left corner in disgust, but Iwasa all of a sudden is a different player.
And he's changing it up well too. I mean, you see a Z serve, a drive Z, but it's not the same serve. It's different height, different spin, different speed, and that just keeps Leduc from being able to jump on it.
Point 12-0.
2 bounces.
Oh, I actually thought he got it, but
No, I didn't.
no. That's why I'm not allowed to referee at these events, I guess.
Well, that's why Curtis Cullen is an international ref and you're not, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Nice shot again.
Oh, my. And it's just 3-shot rallies.
Yep.
We're not getting rallies, period. Leduc could go to the ceiling and at least start something.
No, he's been very aggressive, and there we go again, right? Not getting into it.
14-0.
Well, I think there's evidence here of... Let's see out this point. Beautiful Z serve, and just like that, Leduc takes a donut.
Yeah, and that's, we talk about the donut all the time. That's mentally, that's a bit of a dagger too, right?
And also an example that runs do happen in rally
Great point.
scoring, because we just saw 15 in a row.
Great point.
Okay, break coming up. It's 1 game each. Leduc, all of a sudden, he's got work to do. Time in game 3, Iwasa serving. If you're just joining us, Leduc played outstanding racquetball in that first game. Iwasa, well, he was a little bit sloppy, but he really cleaned it up in game 2 and earning the donut, and continues that form in game 3.
Yeah, he's picking up right where he left off, and I think we talked to him about being a little bit tight in the first game, but I think as a player, when you find a serve that works like he has with the drive Z, it takes so much pressure off you in a way, knowing that you have a weapon that works when you get into the service box.
Iwasa finally misses one and finally gives Leduc a point, breaks the deadlock. 16 unanswered points for Iwasa. Well, Daniel Ramirez jumps back on the chat and says, "What did I miss?" Well, don't go anywhere, and then you won't miss it, because that was quite a turnaround for Iwasa.
Second serve.
Swing and a miss from Leduc in the left corner. Groans from the people around us watching on their favorite. The splat's not working.
No.
The pinch on the backhand side isn't working. I'd like to see Leduc just hit some lines, hit some high percentage.
Yeah, no.
That's not his game, though.
No, and I mean, that first game he made, a number of quality shots. Once his feet were set, like you said, but I think now when there's, there we go again, right? Yeah.
Smart, straight down the line.
Yeah, he's got to, bring it back to those basics of just using your lanes and find a way to work into the rallies more. You can't be setting him up with high pinches in that service box.
Skip ball Leduc. Iwasa's accolades are as long as you can imagine for his young years, starting in 2010 with the Junior World Championships bronze medal. He's won something almost every year. And you can see why. Quick hands, strong, powerful body. Hits the ball very hard. 7 serving 2.
Most recently actually took home a gold medal at the Pan American Championships with
that's right.
partner Samuel Murray.
That was an impressive achievement.
Terrible hit clean lines. Yeah.
Reverse pinch winner from Iwasa. A different game all of a sudden. 8 serving 2. Wow.
Great shot.
Iwasa is turned the light switch on.
Yeah. Yeah. He's, you know, like I said, he's been getting better with every match. And I know that first game he was a little bit shaky, but he hasn't missed very many balls at all. He's making the ones he was going for that he was skipping in the first. And, you know, beyond just finding a serve, he just looks sharper in the rallies.
3 serves 9.
Leduc finally earns a side out, gets a point, 3 serving 9. That's just unlucky. Ball cracks into the corner and squirts out. Leduc's had a couple of those he's missed.
It's tough, too, when you're down and feel like everything's starting to work against you mentally. So that's a big shot to come back from,
That was
though.
a pretty shot.
Yeah.
4 serves 10. Short. Second serve.
Great shot from Leduc.
Who's coming up next? Because this schedule doesn't make any sense.
Serves 11.
Oh, soft hands, Coby Iwasa. Makes it look casual, but executed perfectly.
Yeah.
He's so quick to get over there. Most of us would be lunging, reaching out. He was already there.
Yeah, he's there and set.
And another point for Iwasa.
13-6.
You can see the frustration seeping into Luke's body language
Yeah,
a bit
head,
too,
head
right?
down. But I like this, taking a timeout. Mitch, while we have an opportunity, tell us a little bit. You've got a couple of programs in Racquetball Canada. The badge program is one of them. The inflatable courts is another. Tell us a little bit about how Racquetball Canada is trying to rebuild racquetball in the country.
Yeah, of course. So the badge program was actually developed by Curtis Cullen, who we saw on the court earlier today. They played off a bit of an old badge system we had years and years ago, where you get a badge for.
I know those from England. Yeah.
Yeah. So you sew it on your shirt. So he thought, what a cool idea it'd be to maybe bring that back. So he ended up working with Racquetball Canada and his own junior program to sort of pilot it and develop basically 10 badge levels from 1 all the way up to 10. So you work with junior programs, and one is just simple stuff like, hey, knowing the rules, knowing how to officiate a match, forehand, backhand, and you learn it pretty quickly. And it really progresses really well, which is great for kids and even the parents watching these kids to see, hey, like you're going for your badge level 1, your badge level 2, and they get excited about it, and they can see their progression.
It's a skills test as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it gets very difficult. I mean, once you're badge 8, 9, 10, it's almost a high open level you need to get to. So it's not just race through it. It's years of dedication to work through that and earn your badges.
And the badge is also for adults, not just kids.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Wow. Coby Iwasa. That was a gimme.
Bit of a little bit lazy. Didn't quite get his his feet set and kind of bird into the floor.
Second serve.
That's a terrific get from Leduc. Keep the ball in play.
And again. Not
Great
that time.
effort.
Look at this effort from Leduc, scrambling to keep that ball alive and almost got there, but not quite. You can't question the effort, but it's 14-7.
No. It's great to see. It's like, you're down and you're struggling, but it's, keep scrapping balls back and keeping the rallies going and show your opponent that you haven't given up. That's a big way to just, stay in a match and not give Iwasa too much confidence, seeing that, hey, I've given up. I'm just going to give you the rest of this match.
Coming up next on this court, it is Drury and Parent. That was scheduled for 2 p.m. We've already crossed that time limit, so Iwasa trying to keep us on schedule by closing out this third game. However, we'll see. It's been quite a change. 29 points to 7 has been the run for Iwasa, and in rally scoring, that's a significant number.
Yeah, he's certainly turned things on after that first game here. I mean, he's just been crisp on everything. He's moving Leduc around really well. He hasn't been able to set his feet and make the same shots he was in game 1. So I would suspect he can close this out and do the same in game 3. But you never know.
There it is.
That's a good shot.
Claims game number 3, and all of a sudden, Leduc has a lot of work to do. He's down 2 games to 1.
The Canadian Sport Helpline is a national toll-free helpline aimed at offering a safe place for victims and witnesses of abuse, harassment, and discrimination in sport to share their concerns and get advice on the next steps and get referrals to other resources for follow-up. The Canadian Sport Helpline provides professional listening and referral services by phone, text, or by email 7 days a week. La ligne d'aide du sport canadien est une ligne d'aide nationale sans frais qui vise à offrir un endroit sûr aux victimes et aux témoins d'abus, d'harcèlement et de discrimination dans le sport pour partager leurs préoccupations, obtenir des conseils sur les prochaines étapes et être orientés vers d'autres ressources pour le suivi. La ligne d'aide du sport canadienne offre une écoute professionnelle et des services d'orientation par téléphone, texte et courriel 7 jours sur 7.
Welcome back, everybody. Ontario in the lead with Coby Iwasa over Quebec. Michael Leduc. Leduc has some home friends and family here watching on, and they were excited after game 1. There was a lot of energy in this crowd and in Leduc coming off that court, and all of a sudden that just seems to have vanished.
Yeah, Iwasa definitely sucked the energy out of it. I mean, it wasn't even a couple of closely contested games, 2 and 3, with a lot of exciting rallies. He just was,
efficient.
Yeah.
And Leduc giving him some free points as well.
Let's see what he comes up with here in game number 4.
That's not a bad serve.
No.
And just really good return from Coby Iwasa.
No, he's picking up where he left off here. He's keeps finding that other gear, and I suspect he's going to continue with that drive Z and
well,
keep the
it's
pressure
really good. He cuts it a little bit, cuts underneath it a little bit, and it bites, comes across the back wall. Leduc has never attacked it. I don't understand this.
No.
And that's where maybe Leduc can take something away from this match, win or lose. I've got to learn to step in and take those Z serves early instead of just standing and waiting for them.
Well, and it just doesn't put pressure on the server when you know they're just going to stand back and you can take your center court position 100% of the time, like we're seeing right there.
That time Iwasa went for too much, stayed up. Leduc put it away for a point.
1 serve 3.
And he's been struggling to get his drive serve in over the line as well here, which he was hitting quite well in the first game. So we'll see if he's able to adjust it and he gets that one in, but off the back wall.
Wow, that got a couple of lucky bounces in the back court. But Leduc has had some unlucky bounces his way, so that squares things up.
Yeah, that's right. They're flush again.
Oh my goodness. Well, we talked about unlucky bounces. There's one there.
Iwasa's back up with them again. But you still, I guess he still hit a good angle right into the corner. I mean, that happens when you're hitting, good clean angles, is you tend to get those bounces out of the corners. So always unfortunately on the receiving end, but.
Well, what makes Coby Iwasa so good? Because I look and I see some of these shots and I think, ooh, that's an interesting shot selection, or wow, he left that up. Let's play out this rally and then you can tell me. Give you a moment.
Yeah, let me compose my thoughts. Go through my list. No, but I think he is really unique in the fact, we talked about how fit and strong and powerful he is, and he just, photon drive serve is a huge weapon, of course, with anyone, but he just hits the ball so hard and is so aggressive that it just constantly puts pressure and pressure and pressure on you. And even though it's not necessarily the right shot or executed super well, it's the pace on it, and him constantly cutting it off just forces you to move your feet and be sharp and always be on, and you can't take rallies off. And he never stops either. Mentally, you couldn't ask for a better portrait of a solid, confident, doesn't get shaken, athlete.
Going back to the Z serve. And paid the price that time for going for too much. Down the line, we haven't said that very much from Leduc.
No, it's been a lot of pinches that haven't worked in his favor.
Splats that have stayed up. That's a great shot.
Quick hands.
Mm-hmm. 4 serving 7.
It's a little closer to game one. He's getting in, a few drive serves, forcing a little bit weaker returns, which he absolutely needs.
Iwasa was all over that one.
See a little bit of frustration from Leduc. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a timeout and a couple of points here if these both go Iwasa's way.
Oh my. How did Iwasa stay out of the way?
I was blocked by the door, but I thought Leduc would hold for an avoidable.
I thought so too.
Huh? Still got the point.
Yeah. I said he's like a cat. That time he was climbing the walls. again, you look at that and go, down the line is a clean shot. It's good percentage, and that's not the way Leduc plays. That's not his style.
No, he's can be a little bit all for naught, where he goes for those aggressive shots, and when they work, like they didn't get one great, but what do you go to when they're not?
Pretty shot from Iwasa. Easy, though, in the middle of the court.
And he's not going to miss too many of those.
Now all of a sudden Leduc looks a little bit shell-shocked.
Yeah, I think you can start to see running out of runway to find something here that's going to get you back into the match.
Really struggled with this C serve.
Nice down the line, though, like we've said.
And I think that's, where good coaching comes in, because Michel Gagnon has coached all of these players in some form at the national level and knows Leduc very well. And I think after that first game, I think Gagnon said, hey, Z-serve every time. And it changed the game.
Yep. You can see it. That was, the biggest difference that we saw was just finding a serve that works. And it's crazy how so much racquetball, even at the high level, comes down to that.
Leduc again going for the splash, but pays the price. Iwasa right there. Timeout on the court taken by Leduc. Well, Mitch, we were talking about the badge program, and the other program that I wanted to at least talk about was the inflatable courts.
Yep.
It's a very unique thing for schools to experience. Tell us where that came from and how you're using it.
Yeah, I got one sitting in my driveway right now on a pallet, actually. But again, it was
get it inflated. Yeah. What are you doing?
I haven't figured out how
Go
to do
practice.
it yet. I need it. Yeah, after this week, I'll be getting that set up for sure. But Curtis Cullen again, actually, he was doing some research on the internet and came across these inflatable courts that were actually used for squash. And he got a hold of the people that developed them and just chatted with them, and they said, you know what, they were a great idea, we just never used them. So Racquetball Canada working with him and developing these and bringing them over, and they're great. So you can bring them to schools and festivals and fairs and even outside in parking lots, and it just blows it up, gives exposure to racquetball, gets kids with a racket in their hand hitting the ball around, and then it hopefully gets them sucked into, hey, I want to do this on a real court, 40 by 20, and the reception's been absolutely tremendous.
It's a great idea. I love it. Another three-shot rally for Iwasa, trying to be efficient here. Get off the court quickly. Focus on doubles this evening and semis tomorrow.
Right back to the drive Z. No reason to change it.
And not a great pinch, but good enough.
Yep. Yeah, and I think Leduc just didn't quite have the same spring in his step we saw in game one.
No.
I think he would have got that earlier, but a little bit dejected.
I got a little crack on the right side. He'll take it.
Yeah.
7 serving 14, a match point number 2.
We talked about big runs, so it's certainly not impossible. It's a tall task. We'll see if he can find something that's going to work here and string together a few points.
Excellent serve.
Good ceiling ball.
And Leduc just could not put the pinches down. And Coby Iwasa advances to the semifinals. 14-15, 15-0, 15-7, 15-7. 45 points to 14 after that first game. Iwasa really settled down and made a statement.
Yeah, great adjustment. It's always tough to lose the first game, especially, and we got all the pressure on you as the top seed in that particular match. So, credit to him for finding something that worked, sticking with it, and just grinding it out. And it's about finding a way to win when you're not necessarily at your best, and that's what separates some of these top seeds from the guys that are losing out in the earlier rounds. So, great match from him.
Well, credit Leduc. He took a game off Coby Iwasa, and from his seeding, that's a good thing from him. He can take some confidence in that. We're moving into the women's singles next. We've got Drury and Parent. That should be a fun matchup. That'll be close and interesting. These two don't often face each other, I don't think. Not Marjo. This is Marjo Parent. There's two sisters. So be sure, they're already on court warming up. Be sure to stick with us. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so as we resume here in the Racquetball Canada Championships.
We acknowledge the financial support of the Government of Canada. Nous reconnaissons l'appui financier du gouvernement du Canada.